Hello, Steve White, Trekboy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, Star Trek Las Vegas is happening. There's a few things that have come out of it. A little bit of talk of legacy, but nothing official because it's not in production. It's not in pre-production. They're not planning to do it. Kurtzman didn't want to do it, and Matalas has gone on, but he has made a few interesting comments. First off, he did make it clear that although he's working with Marvel on Vision Quest and something else, he's not exclusively contracted to them. So if Paramount approached him about doing Legacy, he could do it. Assuming he could work his schedule out, he could do it. There's no problem. I thought there'd be an exclusivity thing where they'd be like, you know, you're great, we want to keep you to ourselves. We don't want you working on, you know, competing programs for competing, you know, studios, but apparently he's free to go wherever he wants. So it could actually happen. I thought that was the reason why it couldn't happen for years, because they'd have him tied up with Marvel projects for like 5-10 years. But it could actually happen on that level. So they can't use that excuse of, oh, he's not available now. Well, actually, yes, he can be if you ask him. So that's good. There was also talk from Michelle Hurd, because apparently she knows everything. She was telling everyone how he had done a 30-page outline or proposal for the series. And he's like, well, she said, what? She said that? No. He basically wrote 30 pages of script, which would basically account for the first 20 minutes of a pilot or first episode if they did a series. And so he has, you know, thought it through and developed and sort of looked at how it would be a series and what the first episode would look like, at least half. I don't know why he didn't do the whole episode, but or the whole pilot. But yeah, so he has established like 20 minutes of the show in script form at least. What else did they say? It might have something to do with the Klingon Empire. He didn't say much, except that Todd Stashwick, or his name is, who I don't like, he is supposedly going to come back as an engineering hologram. The Shologram? And he's not happy with the Titan, which used to be his ship, being turned into the Enterprise or whatever. So he basically won't refer to it as so he has some scenes he's written out with him. He sort of knows how that character is going to reappear on the ship. So that's kind of interesting. I think that's all they sort of had about that. He's not locked into a contract. They are. There is a movement. There was, I think, 65,000 people signed a petition to have the series, and they're pushing Star Trek fans to do a Letters for Legacy drive, basically, where it's like write actual physical letters to the studio like they did back in the old days when Star Trek was about to be cancelled, and they deluged the studios with letters and things, and they're just finding ways to show fan support, because if the fans want it, the studio will do it. But the problem is Kurtzman is in charge and he doesn't want to do it, and it's all about him and his universe and him trying to make Star Trek into everything but Star Trek and doing all these other things in the Star Trek universe. Like he just thinks you can slap the Star Trek brand on any genre or style of show, and it's a Star Trek show. You could do a procedural, you could do a lore series, you could do a workplace comedy. Like he just thinks you just slap Star Trek on the show and it's a Star Trek show. He doesn't get that actually Star Trek has a formula and has a so yeah, I'd like to think it could happen, but yeah, I think that's it. I'm just looking at my notes. There's really nothing else. He's happy to do it. He's willing to do it. He's free to do it. They just need to want to do it. And I'm just hoping with the guard change at the top that they actually look and go, why aren't we making this show? That's what the fans want, and it's the logical thing to do to just continue on in the next gen timeline and just move it however far. You know, if it's 10 years from then, you know, that's what we do, and we just keep doing that, and that way we sort of have like a contemporary Star Trek where it matches, you know, our timeline in the future by a couple hundred years. That's what the original Star Trek was, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all those ones, they did that. So we just want to keep on with that universe and have, because I mean, the idea, some people act like, oh, we're going back to that, and I'm like, no, we're going forward. The universe is growing with us, and it's a beautiful thing. They're not just staying in one time period or one time. So yeah, I like the idea of them doing Legacy, and it's not impossible. The only thing stopping it was Kurtzman, and if he's gone, or at least if he's told, what might happen is they might just keep him on contract to save having to find a whole new group of people, but saying, but you have to do this. Like, you have to do what we want. You can't just do what you want, and you don't get to control it anymore. It's just like, you produce the shows that we want you to do for Star Trek, like Star Trek Legacy. So we might have some luck, even if they don't get rid of him and keep him under contract. It might be with stipulations and actual direction. So who knows? But we'll see. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Did I already say that? I say it so often, I feel like I've said it already. But I'm going to go. Bye.